getting surprised by the package, I know.
I know. I'm getting surprised by our own screens.
I know.
But it's great. It looks really good job, guys. Good job. So we have Aaron Levie, co-founder and CEO of Box.net, joining us here on Skype video chat. And Aaron, your Twitter handle is @Levie, is that right? Levie?
Yep.
Make sure everybody is following Aaron. Now, Aaron, Box.net, so cloud-based content management and collaboration platform. And you're based on the premise that workplace collaboration should match the ease, scalability, and elasticity of consumer-facing Web 2.0 technologies. Whew, there, I got that out. I actually got that out.
You did well.
Is that from us?
What?
Is that one from us?
That one is from you. Yeah, I stole it. So you launched Box.net 5 years ago in your college dorm room, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my goodness. Where'd you go to school?
I was actually down in LA at USC.
Oh, and then we lost you up north. Oh man.
Sorry, we'll get him back.
Yeah, we'll get him back. And then okay, so that was 5 years ago. In 2009, Box.net's enterprise revenue increased 535%. Let me say that again. 535%. So that makes you one of the fastest growing tech companies in Silicon Valley. How does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, on the enterprise side of our business, that's absolutely the case, and it's super exciting because I think it validates, and we have a bunch of customer case studies and profiles on our website, but I think it validates just that the technology makes a lot of sense, and it makes a lot of sense in larger businesses, and that was our hypothesis, and it really I think it made some great. Some great headway and traction in 2009.
Yeah, and you've got over 4 million people that are using Box.net now. I mean, how on earth did you amass that user base? I think one quick question. I mean, this isn't planned here, but I want to know. You started 5 years ago, and there are probably people watching this going, "How on earth did he do this?" I mean, what did you do at the beginning that you would say you did right?
Yeah, so. Looking back, the thing that we definitely did right was we went after we went out to solve a problem that we understood, we knew existed. It was a problem that my co-founder and I were running into in college around sharing data and sharing content between people and classes and family and colleagues, and we didn't have any good solutions at the time that were available that were working for our needs. So we developed Box.net to essentially solve that problem. And I think the reaction that we got was pretty overwhelmingly positive that everyone needed to be able to put their content online, and then we were able to take that core platform and core product and leverage it in a business context and in a business environment to help businesses essentially manage all of their critical business information online. And so the 4 million users have really come from really wide adoption of the technology. We have a freemium business model that enables people to sign up for the product for free. So naturally, it spreads very easily through organizations, through communities, through friend groups, and through through businesses. So that's just been essentially why it's worked out so well.
Mm-hmm. So are you telling me that you actually found a solution for a real world problem? Is that really what it was?
Yeah, no,
wow.
I think. So my question for Aaron is that there's been a lot of people who've tried this, right?
Exactly.
So there have been a lot. I mean, this is not like everybody knows this is a real world problem.
Yeah.
That we need a solution to it. That we need some product. What I still don't totally understand is why it was much like YouTube, right? There were like hundreds of companies doing video online, but YouTube zoomed out ahead of everyone.
Why did YouTube get ahead?
And Box.net seems to be sort of like the YouTube of the online storage business, right? So what is it that do you even know yourself what the secret sauce is? Is it something that you feel you understand, or what do you think the reason is for your success?
Sure. Well, and keep in mind we still have a lot of great opportunity and challenges going ahead of us. So we're definitely not done. So I think that it's probably our dedication to the customer experience and the usability of the product, the sort of value that we're trying to drive. I'm not saying that other companies hadn't ever done that, but we have a particular focus towards creating the best possible product for our customers. And I think that we do that in a very sort of relentless and highly sort of metrics and scientific, kind of way that maybe other organizations haven't. And I think it's sort of our attention to that level of detail, which is why we got into the market in the first place. We didn't start it, intending to create a really large business. We wanted to solve the problem with through technology, and so in that process, I think we were able to come up with a product that really worked well for people in larger businesses. And if you look at traditional enterprise content management platforms, whether it's SharePoint or Documentum, they're usually aimed at IT administrators, and they're usually very complex and difficult to use. And again, our focus was really at the end user, the individual in the organization that needed to share content. And so I think that, again, that sort of very specific, narrow focus on the user has enabled us to grow pretty quickly.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
That makes a lot of sense.
That does sound right to me. You have a pretty funny ad. I actually found the graphic you were telling me about beforehand. So if you want to go on the screen real quickly.
Yeah, can we pull up the billboard, the Box.net billboard, guys?
Yes.
I love this.
Yeah, so Box.net is like SharePoint, but without the servers, setup costs, manuals, downtime, firewall restrictions, migraines, permission issues, blah, 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 blah. A lot of bad things.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's pretty funny. It's a pretty good ad. So well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
That actually leads into our question. So you just secured $15 million in Series C funding led by Scale Venture Partners, so congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
And I've heard that your goals are pretty bold. Your goals are, from what your PR people tell me anyway, are to unseat traditional enterprise software players like Microsoft and truly revolutionize how people collaborate in the enterprise. So, pretty bold. So how are you looking to really take on the likes of Microsoft?
Yeah. So, again, I think this probably ties back to the original question. I think that our unique distribution model and business model around delivering our product for free to people and organizations, and then again, as you need more functionality, more storage, more security, more control around permissions and users, that's when you pay us. And so because we get a lot of the distribution in an extremely efficient way, the product spreads naturally through organizations of all sizes. So we have a very large number of people in Fortune 500 companies. We have large enterprise deployments in some of these organizations, and obviously then a tremendous amount of traction in smaller and medium businesses that have traditionally been really underserved by traditional enterprise technology, enterprise software. So so SharePoint is certainly our biggest target because they kind of represent the sort of larger software player in the space, but for the most part, the space is actually fairly fragmented, and customers with 50 and 100 or 500 employees are actually using lots of different kinds of tools and technologies in their organization, and so we'd like to be able to offer them a really compelling, best of breed content management solution that they can implement, within 5 minutes, that they can help their organization manage and share information.
Mm-hmm. I think another point with as it relates to SharePoint too is it's looking at IT control and then top-down management. And really what you're looking at is just the opposite, driving adoption from the bottom up.
Power to the people.
Yeah, power. I like that, power to the people.
It's a good way to look at it.
So a big question on that side, then a bigger picture question is, how do cloud platforms fundamentally change how people collaborate in the enterprise? Yeah.
So when we started Box, certainly we didn't think about the paradigms as whether it's cloud or SaaS. We basically really thought about what kind of technology would solve the problem that we were having. And again, if you look at the problem that we were having, it was sharing between different computers and with different people. And so fundamentally, moving our data to the cloud or to the web was the only way that could really solve that. We wanted to be able to get this data in a central place that could then let other people log in securely and share and access this information. And we think that kind of value proposition extends to a lot of collaborative processes, a lot of applications and software that deal with information sharing. So by moving some of these applications to the cloud instead of having them in your internal infrastructure, you get a lot of leverage out of all the different things that can connect to the cloud. Like one example is I have an iPad right here, and you can get to all of your Box content directly from your iPad, and that's something that is a very sort of cloud-specific type of use case and benefit. You aren't able to access your SharePoint from an iPad, right? Because you'd have to VPN through an internal network and access it through a browser, and that would be very difficult to do from one of these mobile devices. So with Box,
that's why this guy is winning. It's these little details,
exactly.
and there's like a zillion of them, but he's thought them through. This is why he's winning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're very fortunate to have a bunch of people here that think about all these different kinds of use cases where traditionally as a business owner or person in an organization, you wouldn't be able to get to your content or get to your information. So the idea is once you store data on Box, we want to let you extend that data to any platform or any service or any device that you're going to be needing that information from.
Mm-hmm. Aaron, who are some of your notable partners? Because I'm sure there's some people that are going to say, I would love to partner with Box.net. So who would you like to link to the Box platform?
Yeah, so we work with a bunch of different software as a service companies, as well as traditional hardware vendors and technology suppliers. We have relationships with Dell, with NetSuite. We're integrated into Salesforce.com on their App Exchange. We work with LinkedIn and Intuit. So again, the way that we think about it is once you have your data in Box, you should be able to connect that into different places. And for instance, Google Apps, you can take in Google Docs from Google and be able to share them directly on Box.net with our collaborative permissions and our extra sort of meta information that we let users add around data. So again, we're taking this best-of-breed content management platform, letting you take in any kind of data, whether it's from the web or from your computer, and then extend that out to different devices, different platforms, different people in and outside your organization securely.
Sure. That leads kind of to this whole notion of data portability, and I know that you've talked extensively about that. You actually wrote a piece for Fortune magazine, and you said cloud services often lack complete data portability, obviously, and it says, while there are many useful APIs that let us mash up services together, there's a clear absence of simple and obvious ways for applications to communicate uniformly and move data back and forth. So how far are we from actually solving that problem, and how is Box.net working toward true data portability?
Yeah, great question. So, I think we're seeing a lot of this right now in the social sphere with things like the Open Graph and a lot of the things that Facebook does, which are considered more or less open and more or less beneficial to the developer community and consumers overall. But they're really pushing on this concept of some semantic uniformity around how information can be shared between applications and between software and between devices. And so I think the same thing will happen to enterprise software. The same thing will happen as well in specifically within content management. There's a really rich standard that's emerging right now that allows the different content management providers, whether it's Documentum or SharePoint or Alfresco or SpringCM or Box.net, to share data back and forth between these systems and let developers develop on top of these platforms and abstract some of the specific features and specific functionality that these vendors have from how they interact with the data. And so as sort of these platforms begin to mature, and as we get more demand from customers about how these technology needs to be more uniform, that's when I think this will all come together, and so it'll be a bit of a push-pull in the market. But I think over a number of years there will be some standardization that we see. There'll be some sort of best of breed, best practices that emerge, and we'll be able to kind of go from there.
Great. Well, I think it's about high time that we do a little bit of a demo, don't you think?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hang on a
So
second.
we're going to log in here on this side for the WebEx.
Apologies for a little trouble.
And Aaron, if you can do the same on your end, we'd love to just get a quick view of Box.net.
And
while we're
really
getting,
quickly, yeah. Sorry.
I was going to say, while we're getting ready for that, we obviously have iPads here in the studio, and we have a show dedicated to iPads.
Well, I don't have mine
Not
working
in here,
today,
but we have a show dedicated to the iPads.
That's right.
So if you want to see another Box.net demo, then you should probably tune in to our This Week in iPad show tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
That's correct. Yep.
So This Week in iPad. And we'll pull up Box.net and show you how pretty it looks on the iPad, too.
So it says on my side it's waiting for the organizer to arrive, which I assume is you.
There we go. Are you logging in there on your side, Aaron?
What's that?
It says we're waiting for the organizer to arrive, so we need you to join too.
Yeah, that's always fun. It looks like we're showing our screen, but maybe that's not what's happening.
Yeah, I'm in GoToMeeting. I apologize. It's basically just waiting for. It says it's waiting for the organizer to arrive. So
okay, let's try this one more time then.
so as soon as you, I don't think it's me.
Gotta love technology. Let's see here.
Oh, it looks like we're not even the same thing. So
Yeah.
Well, we can just pull up
it looks like we're
Box.net,
not even
the
in the
website.
same meeting at the moment. It looks like we might be in a different meeting than you guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up. Well, I'll tell you what.
Sure.
In the interest of time, why don't we just go to Box.net?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just go to Box.net. We'll pull that up on the screen, and we can take a peek. And then you can see Box.net on the iPad tomorrow. Here we go.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully the
anything you'd like us
technology's
to
easy enough use
highlight?
that we won't need a demo, but.
Sorry, I didn't.
Sorry, what, Aaron?
Oh, I was just going to say, I think it should be easy enough to use that we don't need a full demo, I hope. But
This is true. This is very true.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would like us to highlight from the main page?
maybe the pricing section.
Yeah, I just clicked on the sign up. So basically, here's where the prices are. So there's a light version, which is for free. You get a gigabyte of web storage, 25 megabyte file size limit, and then it goes up to individual. Free 14-day trial, $9.95 a month after the trial. Goes up to 10 gigabytes and 1 gigabyte file size limits, and then business class, free 14-day trial again, $15 per user per month, so it's on a per seat basis, typical. 45 gigabytes of web storage and a 2 gigabyte file size limits, plus some other nice little. They got a Google Apps integration, task management, control and auditing, file insights and tracking, role-based permissioning. So basically, an IT manager can control what's going on, and full text search. So nice, pretty cheap,
Great.
really cheap.
Great.
So.
Maybe that's why they have millions of users.